Welcome back guys to Voicey here. Later today I'm going to publish the compilation video of the best of all time stories on Voicey here, chosen by you with your comments. But I still wanted to give you some fresh stories for today, so I've made this one for you as well. Now the styles are a little different, so comment below if you can spot the difference. Hi, for a little backstory, I live in a nice house. It's right on the beach and I take good care of it and my garden, so it's not strange to see people admiring my home. I'm also a teenager and basically live alone. My dad and mum both work in states and travel a lot, and my sister lives with her fiancé. I can drive, do laundry, and can go grocery shopping, so this isn't too weird. I don't like driving, so I usually bike everywhere, and I have a pool in the backyard. On to the story. We have entitled mother, entitled kid, confused friends 1 and 2, and confused twins. Okay, so I just had a long day at work and I had a few groceries with me on my bike. I just want to take a nice hot shower, and I look like death in my fast food uniform. As I pull onto the street, I see a line of people blocking my driveway, like full blocking. I pull onto the sidewalk and start walking my bike towards the group, and I overhear confused friend 1 talking about how happy she is for entitled mum and how beautiful her new home is. I'm like, what? No house nearby was sold or is even on the market, so I try to pass to get to my garage. Hey, can I get past please?
Just go around, can't you see we're busy?
I just need to drop my bike in the garage and then I'll be out of your way. I'm glad you like the house though, I try to take care of it.
I think you might be confused. EM lives here?
No, this is my house. I live here. I don't know her.
You are obviously trying to break into my house. Get away before I call the police.
No, you need to leave.
I will not get off my property.
At this point, I just push past and head towards the garage. That's when I hear the splashing. No one should be in the pool. I drop my bike and run to the backyard and see 3 kids swimming in my pool. Screw that. I raise my voice and tell them to get the F out. The confused twins both get out, but are obviously confused, but the EK stays in.
My mommy says I can swim. Go away, you bee.
No, I am responsible for you drowning. Get the heck out of my pool and stay off of my property.
Don't you talk to my angel that way. It's his pool.
EM, what's going on? Who is that girl?
She's trying to rob me. Get the F out, kid.
I'm panicking at this point. Well, prove it. Prove that you live here, huh? EM, why don't you go inside? The kids shouldn't be here for this argument. Like heck, you're going into my home.
Yes, we're going inside. Now go away, girl, before I call the police.
Fine, I dare you to get in. The group climbs the stairs. Obviously EM didn't think this through. Only 2 keys to the house exist. My key and my sister's. I lock up my bike, grab my groceries, and push past EM. She is making excuses to her friends about why the key doesn't work. Excuse me, if you don't mind, I'm going into my home. EM, what's going on? I close the door and lock it, as EM is banging on my door, screaming about how she's going to call the cops. I called the cops, not her. She ran off as soon as she saw the cop cars, and the friends stayed behind, very confused. They explained that EM had told them that this was her house and that they were just going to swim in the pool and then head to the beach, so they would never go in the house. Later on, no charges are pressed on EM. I hope she learned her lesson. My guess is because the house is pretty absent. EM probably thought that like basically nobody lived there. How does somebody invite all their friends along to a random stranger's house and just be like, yep, so this is my house, my new house I bought, looks pretty good, huh? Oh great, can we go inside? No, let's go into the pool first. I think the pool is where we should go. I'm not comfortable with confrontation. I'm a kill them with kindness kind of person, or I treat them so nice they feel guilty and apologize. All thanks to my southern belle of a woman who taught me her ways. I was 6th or 7th in line with 4 items in my basket at the self-checkout line. The grocery store was packed and there were only 2 lanes open besides the self-checkout area. The self-checkout area has 4 registers and everyone goes through at a steady pace. There's a cool family behind me, a mum and 2 well-behaved kids, 6 and 8. Cool Mum and I are chatting cause I get bored and don't meet a stranger. We are talking about school starting for the kids. Cool Family's kids tell me about their favorite subjects, etc. Generally just chill waiting for our turn. I'm next in line and EM and EK, who is wearing a backpack, push by me to try and get the next open register. Excuse me, I wasn't sure if you noticed, but this is where the line starts.
I only have a few things, it won't take long.
Meanwhile, EK is just running register to register, looking through other customers' bags and pulling items off the display. EM had about 10 things in her cart. Cool Family Mum flags the employee who helps at self-checkout. EM just jumped the line. Mind showing her where the end of it is? EM starts yelling at the employee.
I only have a few things. It's getting late and my daughter is tired.
Blah blah blah. I see a register has opened up and the one next to it is about to. I signal Cool Family to go ahead and grab the next one that opens 30 seconds later.
Did you see that? She let Cool Family cut. If they get to, I do.
Meanwhile, EK walks over and starts shifting through my scanned groceries. She pulls out the one thing I'd been looking forward to all week, my special dark chocolate bar. Is that yours?
No, but Mummy will buy it for me.
Well, that one is mine, but the candy bars are 3 rows that way. Ask your mum to get you one. EK walks away with my candy bar to EM. Employee and EM are still arguing while EK is yelling at her mum to pay attention to her. Cool Family has finished her scans and gives me the "you need backup" look. I smiled and waved her off. While I am nice, I am not a pushover. Me to employee, EM and EK, when EM takes a big breath in her rant. Excuse me, EK has my candy bar and I would like it back. You can get her one just over there on—
No, that's hers. We already got her one.
She took it out of my bag of scanned groceries. May I please have it back so I can pay and leave?
How dare you accuse my daughter of stealing?
At this point, other people in line are coming to my defense and just plain tired of waiting on EM. The employee looks frazzled from the yelling, and the manager comes up to see what is going on.
Finally, a manager!
She tries to reply her tale of sorrow and woe, but the manager won't have it. Actually, I'm going to need you and your daughter to come with me. We have several complaints and video footage of EK taking items from customers' bags.
What? My baby wouldn't do that.
The manager asks for the entitled kid's backpack. Entitled Mum initially refuses but hands it over to prove EK's innocence. Manager pulls out several stolen items from EK's backpack. EM and EK get escorted to the office, and I get to leave with a new candy bar that has not been smushed and melted in kids' hands. Cool Family Mum waves at me in the parking lot. The crazy thing is, I think the entitled mum actually thought her kid was innocent. I mean, otherwise why would she hand over the backpack? How can you be so oblivious to your child's behavior that you don't even know that they're going around in a store stealing from other people's grocery bags? Another day, another post about people complaining about my disability. I get it, I guess. I'm 16 and look relatively healthy, unless I pass out and fall down a flight of stairs, or can't breathe and end up in the ICU. Anyways, I was going back to school yesterday via plane. I was alone for this particular flight. A short summary of me: I'm 16 and have enough health issues that give me the perks of being disabled that entitled people really want. I made it through the airport so far. Air travel can be a hassle for me, depending on which airport and which TSA agent I have. I have a carry-on backpack with my phone and stuff, and an entire suitcase that is marked with medical equipment, please handle with care. Inside that I have my dozens of meds, nebulizer, neb vials, oxygen tubing, etc, etc. Usually that suitcase and its little tag keep me from getting crapped on by the general public, but apparently not today. I'm waiting for my flight, which is scheduled to start boarding in 25 minutes exactly. This is usually when I go up to the counter and state my need for priority boarding. I answer the relevant questions, provide documentation if asked, and voila! I get a new boarding pass that gives me extra time and allows me to sit in the bulkhead seat. I'm talking with the agent and she's really sweet, so after she wraps everything up for me, We chat for a second, and I talk about how crazy busy it is. I also work in customer service, so I can empathize. EM is standing behind me, waiting to talk to the agent. I step aside and go over to wait for my flight. I sit down on the ground and pull out my laptop to work on my personal writing. I'm wearing earbuds, but I can kind of feel that weird sensation where someone is staring at you. So I take them out and look up to see EM complaining and moaning at the agent at the counter about me getting priority boarding. EM is shooting dagger glares at me. I infer that she is mad about priority boarding, and therefore must be angry at how a seemingly healthy kid got to board before her and her little hex spawn. I now start to pay attention to the conversation.
Excuse me, but why does this teenager get to board before us?
I'm sorry, but that information is private.
It's not fair. She's just a liar and a freeloader. She doesn't need to board early.
The young lady has a very valid reason and is protected by airline policy. What exactly is your reasoning for requesting priority boarding?
My son right here is very young and needs help adjusting to the plane. You allow parents and extra kids time to board?
Ma'am, your son is 9 years old. The policy does not apply to him anymore.
What the frick? I want to speak to your manager.
I step in to intervene because I work in customer service and have dealt with many Karens. It's easier to have another person on your side. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm allowed early boarding due to a federal law and airline policy. Please do not take it out on this agent right here. If you have an issue with my boarding, you can speak to me instead.
Exactly why the frick can you board early? You don't meet any of the policies. Grow up and take some responsibility.
I don't know where the heck she got that from, being I am 16 traveling across the country alone with a disability. I'm pretty darn responsible. I am disabled. I've got plenty more reasons to board early than you and your kid. If you so like, I will board normally and be unable to inform the flight crew of my disability and proper procedure to help me when I'm in distress, which means we might have to make an emergency landing. I'm sure you'll like that because it will delay your arrival in this state by a day. Would you like me to do so? I am standing there looking like I give no craps, per usual, and have my award-winning RBF. EM looks taken aback and is an epitome of the shocked Pikachu meme.
But you aren't old. You can't be disabled if you aren't old.
Well, for your information, I'm going back to school a few days early, so that I can spend 3 days in the hospital seeing a variety of specialists, having a battery of tests, and possibly having a feeding tube placed. Disability does not discriminate based on age. Now, if you will excuse me, I'm going to sit back down before I pass out. That shut EM up, and she slunk back to her row of chairs to sit and wait for her boarding zone to be called. I waited a few minutes and then got up to be at the very front of the priority boarding line. I enjoyed a peaceful flight and enjoyed seeing Karen being stuck in the back of the plane waiting to deplane while I was the first one off. You almost think that the entitled mums actually do want to be disabled. How can they have lived such a comfortable life that they don't realize that younger people can also be disabled? Bad things don't just happen to you when you get older. I don't know if that's somehow connected to their entitlement. It's like they're so oblivious to what the world's really like that they just expect everything good should happen to them. Post your stories, memes, and fan art at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.